So why did I create the career transition system? So this has been a recent question, and I would love to share my perspective here also for this question. So in order to understand this, we would need to go back a bit, right? So rather a decade, not only a bit, because my story, actually, my professional story started at McKinsey and Company. Before that, I was also not doing too bad, but let's not speak about my university time here, as this is not in focus of the next couple of minutes. So therefore, my professional journey with the start at McKinsey and Company, where I roughly spent 8 years, left them in the role as a junior associate partner. And in that time, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of senior folks, right? And very accomplished senior folks. So McKinsey internally, but also from the client side that I served back then. And what I realized in hundreds and potentially rather thousands of discussions was that many of these accomplished people were more accomplished from the outside, right? In the way that other people saw them, than actually feeling satisfied with their own professional journey. And it took me quite a long time to also realize that this is not only true about them, but it's also true about me, because my own professional direction is, or always has been, to push for the absolute maximum, right? So I was never satisfied with the outcome that was aspired to achieve, right? Because ultimately, the second I achieved this outcome, there was the next goal, the next goal, the next goal, right? The more mindset. I was like the absolute personification of the more mindset, right? I was the one that stood for, okay, next goal, okay, bigger goal, okay, whatsoever goal, right? So essentially the same as many of the senior leadership that might be in your current institution, because they also often follow the more mindset. However, what I realized at some point in time, it's just the next goal for me. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me satisfied. It's literally nothing I enjoy doing long term, right? It's just like something which is happening at the side while I'm trying to pursue my search for happiness in my life, right? And this was something. It caught me off guard when we had our second child, because at this moment of time I realized, so is this really something I would like to sacrifice here, right? So time with my children for the next big thing in my career. And the clear answer was no, right? But also at this moment in time, I realized, so if this is a no, and also if this didn't lead me to professional satisfaction, despite being pretty successful in what I was doing, what should I do? What is making me happy? Where do I see my own growth journey? What do you want to build? What is it where I do want to have my professional impact? And that was following a long journey, and was partially pretty miserable, right? I felt like, I cannot even say this here, but I didn't feel good, right? I didn't feel good about my career. I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel good about my accomplishments, while from the outside, right, you could easily say, well, that's a top 1% career, maybe even a top 0.1% career, right? But it didn't feel like this. It never felt like this. And it still is not feeling like this. But I'm happy right now. And the reason for this is that I found a way to approach this for me, because what I realized in my time at McKinsey is the moment where I'm truly satisfied is where I'm able to help someone else achieving something that they would have not been imagined is possible to be achieved for them, right? So that was a moment when I realized, wait. So while I'm unable to build this for myself with my own achievements, I could build a supporting infrastructure for others to do this. And this was a very selfish reason I did this, because ultimately I did it because I was able to feel significantly better with my professional journey by helping others, right? So I essentially tried to turn the weakness I explored and realized about myself into a business model. And that was working just fine, right? Because my ambition and my systematic approach and my strategy and my push, and sometimes my clients call it tough love, is still there, right? So I'm still absolutely aiming for the absolute best outcome. However, I'm not doing this for me anymore, right? I'm doing this together with my clients for their careers. And this makes me happy because in this way I can also scale my impact. And it's not only something where I can celebrate for a day or so, but it is something where people are coming back to me after a couple of years' time and have taken action on something we had discussed in a 5 minutes chat, right? And this is the most rewarding feeling that I've experienced in my whole career. So that is my story, right? So I built a business model out of my weakness and I built it around something that I was exceptionally good at, but I never enjoyed doing for myself. But I do enjoy doing it for and with my clients, right? So in a nutshell, that's the story. That's the reason why I built the career transition system, because I want to at least impact the life of 1 million people positively in the realm of their professional satisfaction, right? So that is my vision. That's going to happen in the next couple of years, and there will different formats and different intensities of supports and of support, and also how we will put out content and also what type of content we will put out. But there will be ways to achieve that mission, because we are working super hard also on this, and by now also the alumni network has grown to a size where it's incredible, right? So if I ever need something in my own professional life again, I have quite some people to reach out to. Also, this makes me quite happy, right? And I also line up people that have been part of my alumni network or have been alumni clients of mine, right? And they help each other too in their careers. So that's an amazing feeling. So what exactly we are doing in the career transition system and why is it different? Now, ultimately, you could say it's just another job search program, right? You could, but it's not, because it has a strong focus on, at the beginning, setting the direction straight, right? And getting you to reflect upon what is actually truly important for you. So having this moment to be clear on why are you pushing for something in the long term, and then planning back, what does it mean for your next job? And that's a fundamentally different approach than what nearly all other programs and I would rather call it approaches here, or transition approaches, are doing. Because ultimately, we don't take this for granted that you are already knowing exactly what you want to do with your next job without being able to explain how it will benefit you in the long term. And this is an important part of the program, because this is also setting what we call the solution scope. Because ultimately, the idea here is to build that solution scope systematically, right? And what this means is to not only collect job opportunities and blindly apply to them, but to collect them and then evaluate and rank them according to what you want to achieve in the long term, right? And then focusing and prioritizing on these job opportunities that are the ones that look the most helpful for achieving what you want to achieve in the long term. And that makes a difference, because that also helps you to allocate the appropriate resources to the position that you're prioritizing, and to go the extra mile for them, to build a referral network or management system for them, and to make sure to really maximize the chances for these roles. And the reason why we are successful is because we help our clients in each step of that program, right? So ultimately, what we have built here is not a unidirectional program, because this is not an online course, or this is not only a book, or this is not only whatsoever, right? So yeah, all of these elements are there, but that's not what will make you successful. And it's also not like a bi-directional thing where you have just like random mentor coaching sessions or whatsoever. In the end, this is about a reciprocal program, right? So it is, in the end, a program where you can bring your own topics and own questions and discuss them, where we're going to help achieving the way that you crafted out for yourself in your best interest. And that makes a difference here, not only in terms of the results and also negotiations of salary and compensation packages and what have you, but ultimately by living up to what you truly want to build by yourself for your professional future. And this is what we are getting up for every morning. This is why we are excited every Monday for a new week in which we can push. And this is ultimately also why we will scale into spheres that is absolutely unimaginable for most of the programs that doing their standard one-on-one career support services, right? It's different. And if you're interested to see how and why it is different, and especially what would it look like for you, reach out and then we can see if this is a match for a collaboration and we can push together. So that's it for the moment. Just wanted to quickly lay out how I'm thinking about the career transition system, why I have created it, what's my background here, what's the motivation behind it, what's the vision of it, and also why we have built it in a different way. Now, all of this is coming to an end. I have linked a free course here, Pillars of Successful Career Transitions. You might want to get into what I shared with you on a high level in more detail. So just click that link and sign up for this free course. It will already be eye-opening on the basics for many and might helpful to kickstart your search for a satisfying career. So let's go.